So there's parts of the project where you could hear me gradually just sound more and more confident.
Yeah.
You know, more and more like, okay, like he's feeling himself right now.
Yeah.
And then you also have those moments where those points of the project slowly peel back, and it's like now I'm becoming more vulnerable and things like that. So.
Ben Reilly in the studio here today.
My guy.
I appreciate you coming by. I was a big fan of the EP that just dropped, and it was really, I have really been on a wave of more so, you know, the newer artists that are coming up in the rage scene, and I've been doing a lot of stuff with those people.
Mm-hmm.
But it was really nice to listen to something that really brought me back into a more lyrical style of hip hop. So
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I really do.
But how are you feeling being here back in New York?
I feel good. I'm having a good time. It's been a cool trip. You know, I got to see some family, got to hang out, and do some stupid stuff. I could curse?
You can curse.
Yeah, I was doing stupid shit. You know, just hanging out, goofing off. So
does it feel different every time you come back here, having been gone for being in Atlanta?
So you know, when I moved to Atlanta, I moved to Atlanta in high school.
Yeah.
But I would still spend like summers here, spring break, whatever. Like I would always come back whenever I wasn't like busy with like other shit. But
yeah.
Nah, cause even before music became like a career, I'd be up here like 2, 3, maybe 4 times a year. So.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm.
So I want to dive straight in and start out with the EP. And like I said, it was something like I feel like I haven't really listened to in a long time. But for you, I imagine it had to be, as it probably is for most artists when they drop something, just a big release and weight off your shoulders getting that out.
Yes. And it's still not a weight off my shoulders yet, because like it's in preparation for the album, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So really it's just how we formatted the release, which is why it's like an EP. It's really, you know, it's just a single release, you know what I'm saying? Just to build up to the project. So
yeah. I think it felt really polished, and it's been a couple of years since you put out a project, right? But the EP really felt like just you're stepping in a new direction, continuing but in a different light. Like it feels more confident, more polished, and I'm wondering if that's how you feel stepping into sort of a new era years later here.
To think so you know, the whole thing behind this Hero Man thing is supposed to be like a super duper enhanced version of myself, you know. So if it's portraying, if it's getting that, if I'm conveying that properly, then yes, that's what I wanted to do, because I want that image to feel that way, you know. So
can you feel a noticeable change not from my perspective looking in, but from your perspective in the process of making everything, to do you genuinely feel in a different space than you were years ago?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
How so?
Absolutely. Just a lot of different variables, personal life, music stuff. There's been a lot of pivoting and sticking and moving and just figuring things out as it happens, and like you know, like the Mike Tyson quote, everybody got a plan to their punch in the face. That's been my life. It's like, all right, this is how this shit is gonna go. We're gonna do it like this. That ain't go that way. Gotta pivot, you know. And it's been that for a while, especially like just trying to get this project out. It's been a lot of hurdles that I had to jump. So for us to get this far, I feel really good. You know?
I always hear people talk about, whenever we're talking about a project, of they pivot in so many different directions, like you said, in their career, and you know, advancing in their career, but also maybe even within the project, you know. Just you might start thinking, I was just talking to somebody else about this, is you might start in one direction, think you're gonna go this way with the album, but as you're making stuff, things make the cut, things don't make the cut. Is that something you found in your process while making this?
Yeah, so even to that point, like the whole project is supposed to display, like, come out the gate with me saying, like, this, just heavily displaying who I am and who I'm trying to be. And then you kind of, as you listen through the rest of the project, you basically, we're peeling back the layers. We're peeling back the different experiences, the things I went through, and it's also like it's like a story through line through it too.
Mm-hmm.
So there's parts of the project where you could hear me gradually just sound more and more confident.
Yeah.
You know, more and more like, okay, like he's feeling himself right now.
Yeah.
And then you also have those moments where those points of the project slowly peel back, and it's like now I'm becoming more vulnerable and things like that. So, yeah, I think I answered that right.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think you really touch on and I've heard you talk about before, but the story aspect. It feels like everything you've dropped up until this point is just you adding on another piece to this story. And I've heard you refer to it as issues,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
Going on the comic theme, superhero theme, but yeah, I think I've noticed too the journey you're taking in each release in your music. It's really not just like one-off projects. They really are a combined thing.
Yeah, so that's how I wanted to put it out, especially like singles. Everybody would just be like, oh, my new song or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm like, this project is supposed to be my life as an audio comic book,
Mm-hmm.
It's me looking at myself as the hero I want to be, or the hero I fail to be, or looking at the people that who are supposed to be heroes in my life, or things like that. So that's, I really want to make sure that point is driven home all the way. Like, this new song dropping, I'm gonna call it issue number whatever. And obviously, like, the numbers are associated with their position in my track list too. So, but
the sound on the project, and I've always felt like your music is really ahead of its time.
Thank you.
In the sense of it fuses both your Brooklyn roots and being in Atlanta. And I think the more lyrical side of, not shade on Atlanta, but the lyrical side that has become so famous from Brooklyn artists and then the production that we're hearing, the 808 production that we're hearing from Atlanta artists. I feel like that's something really unique to you, and it must have been really difficult and given you a unique identity as an artist, like, coming up.
Yeah, so when I have this conversation with people, I say, like, because I feel like both cities molded me one way or another. Like, I get a lot of swag from New York, I get a lot of swag from Atlanta. Yeah. So not
many people can say that.
Yeah, they can't. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And, like, both cities molded me into the man that I am today, especially, like, creatively. I feel like I do really well on the trap drums and things like that, but when it comes to some boom bap sample loop stuff, I'm a rap. And it's gonna be like I feel like New York has always had and like you kind of just said, New York has always had a very, very prideful stance on their lyricism.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Whereas the South is home of some of the greatest lyricists ever. But it's been like sonics, sonic sound, and a lot of innovation too. I feel like there's a lot of, like, just innovative energy in Atlanta, really specifically with music. But I try my best to, like, really display those things, no matter what. Even if it's like certain slang, I say certain things that people in Atlanta say, and I say certain things New Yorkers say, and I try to throw it together in unconventional ways. So
but I really hear both Brooklyn and Atlanta on the EP.
Yeah.
But I think for you, like, I'm curious as to when you started this type of sound that you've been working on and polishing, because I really haven't heard a whole lot like it. I really haven't. And I want to know the sort of, was it difficult for you to, coming up, people might not have accepted the sound right away. Maybe they did. I'm just curious to you as, like, what that relationship is like with you sort of, trailblazing that.
I was a part of a group. In that group, we would just have really interesting ways of trying new things with the sound of how we were doing stuff. And, like, there's this like, obviously I have, like, a Kendrick influence or whatever, right? And me living in Atlanta, me being a lyricist, and me, like, really rocking with, like, the Future stuff and Thug, Gunna, T.I., like, everybody, Outkast. There would be times where I'm like, okay, what if I, like, rapped like this over trap beats, but, like, still did the Playboi Carti staccato vibe on top of it. And that's how like my style of like when I do certain songs like that. That's how that came about for me. How does it feel? I don't know, honestly. Like for me, without saying too much, there are cases where I've been doing some version of what I've been currently doing since 2016, 2015 or whatever, 2017 even. And it's like, as I obviously get older, as time and just concepts and just what's generally like cool evolves, I get like compared to a lot of people who is like people I don't even listen to. And it's like I've been like if you really if I was to pull like my unreleased like folders or something, you'd be like, oh no, you've always sounded like this.
I feel like it has to be. Well, first of all, I guess I want to ask: I think people have caught up to what you're doing, at this point in time, at least like years down the road, people have started to like catch on to. You'd like to think so. Was there ever any doubt in your mind, like thinking back to those days, that people would ever catch on and sort of understand like what you were going for as an artist?
Yeah. Even now, there are not necessarily doubts, but there are moments where like I'll hang with like friends or whatever, and they'll be like, oh, like let me hear your new project or whatever, and you'll play it, and they'll be like, I don't get it. A lot. That happens a lot. That happened with my first project, Freelance. Like I played it for like a lot of like people close to me, and everybody was like, nah, that ain't it, man. You could go hard, and that project changed my life.
Right.
So it's like, I don't know. It's hard to really say. I don't think I really have doubts per se, but I don't think everybody gets the ideas until it's like time to get the ideas on. Until it's like very clear, like, oh, that's what you were doing.
Yeah.
And it be like that. I'm like that sometimes. There's been times where like homies will play me something or show me something, and I'll be like,
yeah.
And then it's like when I finally get it, it's like, oh, that's what you was doing. So I think it's just important to really trust your gut.
Art, like music or art just in general, I think is interpreted in everyone who hears this is gonna hear it differently, no matter what your intention is. When I listen to your project, I'm gonna hear something different than anybody in this room is gonna hear or you're gonna hear. How does that affect you? I guess like I know you want to convey a message with the projects that you put out, and particularly in the EP that we're talking about. When you shoot for a message to convey, how important is it to you that people understand it right away, or versus people sort of making up their own definition of like what you're trying to convey, if that makes sense?
I think so. Damn.
Say more?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know what you're trying to convey. You have a specific message in the EP that you're trying to convey for people to hear.
And the message that people walk away with, like, if it differs or
it might differ. And how important is it to you that like when you sit back after the EP's out, after the next project's out, that you really think back and think like people got the message, or is that something that's not really you're concerned about?
I feel like art is like subjective for a reason. Like people listen to whatever and they'll listen to my music and walk away with a total different like outlook of what I was trying to say. And I'm okay with that, as long as it's not just like super duper like far-fetched. Right? Like for example, Osborne Park, the block I'm from in New York here is Osborne Street, right? And on the corner of Osborne Street is this playground. That playground was where I had like my first fight or whatever. And I talk about like just my different fighting experiences throughout my life. My first fight, the first time I got jumped, the brawls I used to get in a lot of fights. I'm not a fighter, but I used to get in a lot of situations, And that song is just me detailing that and putting a location on it. Like those events might happen between both New York and Atlanta, but I put a location on it.
Right.
And it just so happened to be Osborne Park, Osborne Street. So people automatically, with my superhero ideas and stuff, automatically thought I was talking about like the Green Goblin and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, no, I'm talking about like a real like experience for me, a traumatic experience, if that maybe. But people walked away from it thinking it was supposed to be like a pun on, like a play on words with
Right.
Ben Reilly and Norman Osborn and Green Goblin, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think it's fun. I definitely think it's fun.
Mhm.
But do I get frustrated by it? Nah. I think it's fun. As long as people just keep it in a wheelhouse that makes sense, it's cool.
They're all gonna take it differently and interpret it differently. Where did this whole when I guess did you first have the idea for the whole superhero storyline?
So since I chose the name Ben Reilly,
Right.
so my real name is Nari, right?
Mhm.
When coming up with a stage name, I had like different moments. So there was this one point in time where I was like heavy on a Naruto kick,
Yeah.
right? And like my name Nari, and it's spelled Nah. I was like, all right, I'm gonna just go by Naruto, but like Naruto.
That would've been pretty tough.
Maybe. But then I started to go by Nagato,
Yeah.
like, because that's a character Pain from
Right.
Naruto, right? So I'm like, maybe I go by Nagato. It didn't stick, and I'm like, I'm more of a comic fan than I am an anime fan, for sure.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite characters is Peter Parker, Spider-Man.
Mhm.
And Ben Reilly happens to be a clone of Spider-Man. I wanted to name myself Peter Parker, but it's like some DJ in like Boston or some shit with that name.
Yeah.
And so I went with Ben Reilly. That was like my second favorite, or my favorite version of Spider-Man outside of the main one, you know?
Yeah.
So with that, I was like, you know, at the time I already established like the superhero thing, and that was like 2015 I did that. So and you could find this on like SoundCloud.
Yeah.
Me and my group at the time, we had this project called First Hour of Summer's Highway, and all throughout that project I'm saying save, like I'm chanting save. This is one song on there where I just save. So I say that for like that's like the hook, damn near, you know. So it's like I've always just had that be my thing. Soon as I named myself Ben Reilly, my @ name everywhere was Save Ben Reilly.
Yeah.
So from that moment, I was like, okay, boom, I know what I want to do. I've been through some things in my life. I've, you know, some more than others, some less than others.
Right.
But I've had a interesting life experience to my belief, to what I went through. And I'm like, okay, since then, I was like, I want, like, whenever I get on as a rapper, my debut album will have to be named Save.
Yeah.
Straight up, I was just like, it has to be named Save, and it has to be about my life story. So, yeah.
I think it's just really interesting to me how you went with, like, you took the superhero things and the things that interest you and really just ran with it, regardless of sort of. I mean, I don't know exactly how old you are when you thought of the idea.
But 2015, I had graduated high school at 2013. I was 17, so 19.
Yeah. So 19. So especially at that point, you're like, kids can be mean. Like, kids can really, and kids can. Everybody has an opinion, especially in those sort of ages. Is like it's a tough time to do something different. Which I don't, you know, being an artist and is already different itself from a lot of the things your peers are probably doing. Mm-hmm. So you're already sticking out in that way. And then like the superhero thing, people, I think could probably, people might not understand it right away.
Oh, for sure. People used to call me all types of like corny and weird.
Yeah.
I've always been like a cool guy, but like when I tell people I'm into comic books to the degree that I am,
right, people
are like, you're a little weird.
Yeah.
Like, I had girls tell me like, you was cute, but now you a little weird. I swear to God, like.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. It's my interest, you know.
Yeah.
So.
But then, how do you stand? How do you? Because that's not like a lot of people conform to, you know, what's cool. I think artists in particular, though, like they stand out, and identity is a really big thing, you know, in being an artist and like who you are as an artist, what sort of your, like, you know, what your identity is, what your thing is. But where does the confidence come from for you to back then to now, even still carrying this to the EP that we're talking about, just continue with that persona and not care about what, you know, the opinions have been up until this point about it?
That's a good question. I like to say that, well, for one, my mom's really instilled me with like just being like, hey, be yourself.
Yeah.
You ain't no sucker. like you don't gotta act like everybody else.
Yeah.
You know, I grew up around all type of like different people, but my mom was always like, yo, you want to make sure you remain yourself. Like, so if it's something that you want to do, growing up, like I used to draw, and I told my mom before I was like, yo, I'm a rap. I told my mom I want to be a comic book artist, and she used to really just drive that home for me. So it was like, it's one of those things where I guess having people already kind of instill you with that confidence and that belief in yourselfism, I feel like it makes it easier for me to just step outside and be like, all right, I'm in my own skin. People gonna make fun of you for sure. I've been made fun of my whole life. Like that's just part of it.
It doesn't seem to bother you.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah. The only thing, and it's not a outside force. I have moments just myself as a human being. I just be like, this might be a little to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like this might be a little corny to me. This might be a little weird to me.
Not to somebody else.
I have a diamond mask on my face. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like someone would easily just be like, the fuck is he? You know?
Yeah.
But it's me. You know? So yeah.
And that, like, I think you've always had that, in especially when the previous project drops 2021.
Yep, it did.
But I'm saying you carry that even till now, like, and you hear it in the project of like, it almost feels like you really cemented yourself of like, this is who I am in the EP, right? And not, you know, it takes a couple projects for people to get warmed up to who you are as an artist, right?
For sure.
But I haven't heard the album that's coming out next, but it feels like to me that this is a step in just sort of like your work really becoming just mainstream, and people being like, oh, that's Ben Reilly. Like, that's like, we know now who and what, you know, what to expect from him. Like, this doesn't seem like a sort of an abstract concept or sound anymore.
I received that. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's definitely, I definitely tried my hardest to like be very, very true to myself and my story, and try to make songs that people will enjoy. And I hope people, you know, I hope that people will enjoy those songs when they're all fully out. And listening to, like, just listening to the people around me, like, obviously trusting yourself, trusting your gut, but also listening to the people around you, because like songs like Don't Lose the Plot, I made that song on the humbug. Not even a humbug, like I really made that song in like an hour, and it was just like, you know, cool. And
a lot of the best songs are made that way.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And it made me like, it was, the album at that point was already like finished. Yeah. And there's like songs on the project that are like not necessarily similar, but just maybe capture that vibe. But I had, it took me a while to actually come around to put it on the project. But then I put it on the project, and it fits so perfectly, and it makes the story make even more sense. Like the through lines between every song. Every song references another song's one way somehow. Period.
They're all connected.
Yeah, so it's like adding Don't Lose the Plot to that, and how that intertwines, transitions between tracks, fire. Yeah. So
we didn't talk about the title though, the EP.
Okay.
And I want to know what it means to you, and and how you came up with the name, because I feel like everything's super intentional with when you're putting out a project. Everything from the visuals that I've seen, leading up to like the project's coming out and everything, and I want to know, what the title of the project means to you.
Well, to be honest, this is probably the only time where it's been such a simple thing, where it's like I really would just named it after the song, the single. The original plan was to have it be like a double EP thing, like releasing like Walk Before You Fly as the first song, and Don't Lose the Plot as the first song, and have them be like pushed at the same time. So that's really all it is.
So where does the name for the song then come, if it stems from the song?
So the song Don't Lose the Plot, basically the song is really about like, especially like at the point of the story, it's also me telling the listeners like, sit your ass down and stay here. But also,
that's what I got from it.
Yeah. That's definitely like, especially in the track list, it's like, I want you to stay here. Like these other songs, I know they're amazing, but like this one's keeping you. So, but in terms of the actual song, you know, the hook is me basically communicating with a woman I'm courting and basically saying like, hey, I know you heard of my reputation, or maybe you've heard disparaging things about, not disparaging, but like just like,
yeah,
I heard, you know, you might meet somebody be like, I heard about you. Nah, like, take me for me, like, you know what I mean? Don't go off that and just actually like vibe.
Yeah,
like let me show you who I am rather than you hearing about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I think that's a neat idea, because I was gonna tell you that when I was gonna tell you what it meant to me first when I listened to it, and that's what I felt. I felt like it just sort of was, don't get lost in the story. Like, we're this far into the story, of everything you've been putting out, and now it's like continue to listen. And someone new who might be new and listen to the EP is like the first thing they've heard from you, is like, don't take an outside opinion of what you've heard. He sounds like this, or his music's like this, and just like, sit down and listen. So
exactly.
I definitely got the
sure.
the message I think that you're trying to convey from that.
For sure.
I touched on the visuals, but I want to talk about, even with the Hero Man like clip back with the phones that you put out a bit ago. It seems like you're not just dropping songs when you're putting out a project. It feels like you're setting a scene.
Yeah, so it's world building for sure. It's since my first project with like Freelance and Freelance Charlie, with the Redbirds, like I even did shorts for those as well. I was coming out of a life-size birdhouse at certain shows and things like that too. So I really probably, like, even the listening party we did at the time, we made it seem like we constructed it like a walk in the park, and there's bird cages and stuff like that. Shout out to the team too. But that's really what it is. You know, you really want to make sure people are really hearing your name and seeing what you're doing, and seeing like, okay, it's not just like cool songs or nice music videos, but now there's the mask, there's the shorts, there's, you know, just different things that help enhance that messaging. I think that's extremely important. Like I look at people like Tyler and
world building.
Definitely. They do really good with that.
It just adds a bunch of elements to outside of just the music. It gives people more of a feel of who you are for an artist, and it really just creates a whole persona about it.
And that's something that I aim to do, like with
it's intentional.
Every project cycle or album cycle or era or whatever, I want to have like a different imagery for myself every time, or a different like nickname. One of my favorite things to do is like when I work on like songs, I have these songs where I have like, I call them character tracks. So like on my first project, Freelance, the character track for that was Redbird, and my second my second project, Freelance Charlie, the character track was Charlie. So every project I try to have like a character track where it's just me being my fullest confident self, and me basically like establishing who I am and where I am. It's almost like Drake's Timestamp Records or Kendrick's Heart series. Like it's like that for me.
It's almost like where you are right now in the process and on the project. Like who you are in the project when they start to listen to it. How has the whole visual aspect in creating a story, how has that process changed from the first project you put out and working on that to now the one you're working on?
Like how did it change with me, like thinking of the ideas, or like the just actual like
the inspirations itself? The visual language.
Okay. So like with the last project, a lot of like most of my music videos for the last project, Freelance and Freelance Charlie, are like outdoors and stuff like that, because I wanted it to feel like you outside with me with the birds and stuff like that, like corny stuff like that, you know. But to me, you know, cute corny though, you know. But now for me, like when I write songs now, I write songs thinking of two things first: how I'm gonna perform it, and how would I shoot a video to this, or how would the photo shoot be for, you know, stuff like that. And with working on this project, a lot of what I did as well was I'll watch superhero movies and superhero TV shows as I'm recording.
That's neat.
And that helped me like say, okay, I know at the very least visual identity. Maybe my makeup would be I rock outside with like a white tee and a red cape, or outside with this mask, and the mask is me kind of breaking, like having some type of surrealism to it, where it's like it's like a mix between like unreal and like some tangibility, you know.
I feel you,
yeah, so that's my perspective with it.
The project here that you've or the EP, sorry, that you just dropped, feels like a really good launching point for whatever direction you want to go in
Thank
next.
you.
And you seem happy, like you seem like rejuvenated from putting the project out and everything. And I just want to know what you're excited for, what you're looking forward to right now after having put that out. What you're looking forward to?
Hopefully seeing that song do really well. It's one of my favorite songs, so I hope it becomes a lot of people's favorite song. That plus putting out, you know, the album Save. I'm really excited about that because I spent like the last like 3 years just really like married to this idea and like spending a lot of my time and like life and just so much effort into that project. So
definitely,
it's really one of those things where I'm just excited to get it off, you know, and really see how people take to it. It's a vulnerable thing for me too, because I'm talking about a lot of very personal things on there. And I'm just excited to see how people take to it, whether they love it or hate it.